Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. You're watching Splash Pages, powered by the Dorkening Podcast Network. And as always, my name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard. And if I don't hit the wrong buttons, we have the Velvet Joker. How's it going, my friend?
Good. Ready to hawk and roll tonight.
Hawk and roll. Drew, my friend, how's it going?
Uh-oh, you fell asleep.
What happened? Are we on?
Wake up.
Okay. I'm glad that I'm on point or target for tonight. I'm just gonna sip this. I'm just gonna. Oh boy.
I'm sad you guys didn't give me a heads up. I would have figured out some arrow puns.
You just did.
Okay.
They weren't sharp at all, though.
No.
But Leo, you're always on target.
Stay on target.
Yep, especially if the targets were snakes. But we're not going to go there tonight because there is not a single mention of snakes in all of Hawkeye. However, so guys, before we start, how was your holiday weekend?
It was fun. I had a great time.
Well, yes, we didn't hear from you. We figured you were stuck in some sort of mishmash of Thanksgiving and Hanukkah, Rich.
I made the great trek from Mass to Jersey, and then the next day to Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of miles.
I had a lovely dinner with my mother, who I haven't seen in 2 years because of COVID.
Jeez. Right.
And we did all kinds of things for her. We emptied her shredder, hung pictures.
What you do when you don't see family for a while? All the things that were waiting for only you to do.
Yeah. We had to get Disney Plus on her laptop for her, all the good, loving things that a son does.
Good. Leo, how was yours?
Yeah, it was it was good. It was two families. We stopped by to see my mom, and then spent most of the time with the in-laws, and did something similar. My mom needed her AC taken out, so we did that. But yeah, it was just some awesome food and just relaxing and just a long day. Jeremy, it is Dal Merge. So glad you got to go home and do your chores, Rich.
That's right. Good little boy.
Yeah. Dear God.
Now, Drew, how about you? Did you have any holiday celebrations?
4 Thanksgivings.
Oh, wow.
4.
So I had a Friendsgiving on Sunday in Connecticut. And then on Thursday, it was Thanksgiving with my family. And then Friday, I worked, which I'm not even going to go there. And then I drove deep in Jersey to my girlfriend's family on her dad's side. And then the next day, we had Thanksgiving with her mom, her dad, and her brother. And then after that, Put up the Christmas tree the next day and went to a game night, or as I put it, Aftersgiving.
Oh, I saw that. You were hanging out with Kevin and Jacqueline.
Yeah, it was great. So after that, I said to myself, never again. Because 4 is just so many. Yes, Jeremy, I know how very much I look. I actually slept in today, and my body was like, "What? You're not up at 6 o'clock doing things?" I was like, "Nope." Some days I'm just like dead. No, but it was great. Got to see a lot of people. Got to enjoy a lot of food. I had 4 cases of the itis. Or as I like to put it, Drew needs new sweatpants.
Have you unbuckled one belt buckle?
Unbuckled. My God, I transitioned. I went from dress to sweats.
Oh, same here.
Nice.
That you do that in that nice little changeover between dinner and dessert. You just casually slip away, and then just like, all right, cool, let's do the pie. Let's do let's do this. You just sit comfortably, and people wonder why you're a bit more limber. I was like, nope, don't have the oppressiveness of tight slacks. Thank you, Jeremy. We're glad it's Tuesday too. There's nothing better I like to do than spend my 8 to 9 range with these knuckleheads, but it's all good. No, but it was really good. But I just can't believe like tomorrow is December, and then I'm thinking of all the things I got to do, and I'm just like, I look forward to 4 days of December to enjoy. So, but glad to be here, guys. Let's do this.
Speaking of getting up at 6 o'clock, did anybody watch the South Park post-COVID special?
No. Was it good?
Oh, so good. And they fuck with people.
Of course they do. That's South Park.
It's they purposely very loudly direct Alexa during the show many times.
That's good.
Like, it was shutting off people's TVs. I'm sure there are a bunch of alarms set because multiple times throughout the show, they're like, Alexa, set an alarm for 7 a.m. It's and Alexa, so it takes place in the future. It's like 40 years in the future. It's like when COVID's like about to end. And
oh my God.
Alexa is like some hologram, like mean person. It's hilarious. It's like you think it's an abusive relationship, and then it turns out that it's actually Alexa in holographic form.
Oh God. And speaking of things in holographic form, I just enjoy the name this time, because before we had very official names like COVID, Alpha, Dental, and then the Omnicron, and I'm just like,
it's Transformer.
That's exactly what I said. I was just like, so COVID is the work of the Decepticons?
Absolutely.
This is the most heinous thing they've ever done. And I just every time I keep hearing it, they're like, oh, the Omnicron. I'm like, they're here. The Cybertronians are attacking. Where's the Allspark?
Drew, at your suggestion, I finally got around to watching that Jurassic Park Dominion trailer.
Oh, yes. Nice. What do you think?
And wow, the CGI is so beautiful. It was, because it's not a huge action.
Wait, is this genuine? I just have to ask.
It was 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm being totally genuine.
Okay, cool. I
thought it was so beautiful. I really I was impressed with the level. I mean, they're showing a fair amount of the creatures, the dinosaurs, and just in a living type situation. And goddamn, is the detail amazing?
Yeah,
like me and Harley were both blown away. It really beautiful. If you haven't seen that trailer, definitely check it out.
And
I love it how the last shot in the past is the mosquito landing on the dinosaur.
Yeah, that was
a nice touch.
Yeah. And I had to say, the transition was really great, how it went from the past to the present. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I was like, wow, that was flawless. And then you really just get an idea of how chaotic things have been since dinosaur and man are now living together. And it's so funny. And it's so funny because in my head, I kept imagining that the T-Rex was like a kid looking for his mom. So just imagine him just like, that's why he's running around screaming and whatnot. So at one point I was just like, can someone pick this kid up? Like, damn. But and I know like people generally, again, like people play it off like, oh yeah, if a T-Rex is doing that. I was like, dude, if you had a giant man-eating dinosaur, don't act like you would do any better. You would freak the hell out, scream and run. Like, people always try playing off that they wouldn't react a certain way, and I'm like, excuse me, you 100% would.
Oh, hell yeah.
So don't act like you're going to be more of a hero than you are. So, but I think for once, I was just really glad that trailer did not give anything away, but it really, it just was 5 solid minutes of good entertainment that I feel really showed a good homage to the past, connections to the dress parks we know, and gave us a teaser of what to expect in this new one. I was like, wow, finally someone gets it.
Right. And they didn't really ruin the premise of the movie at all, which is great.
Exactly. So it was just, I'm so glad you got to watch it. That was great. I have to say, I've had to kind of pull away from the internet because they are just going in on all these Spider-Man mini TV spots. And I'm just like, I want to watch the movie. Like, can we chill, please? And speaking of, did you guys see how quickly the tickets for opening night have sold out? Like, I think they're anticipating, what is it, like 100 million?
Last I saw, I think it's like a 200 million opening.
200 million opening night, and I'm just like, yeah, Omnicron be damned.
Did they say a day or two totally sold out?
Mm-hmm. And wow. I'm like, okay, I'm just fine. It's
now,
okay.
Is that only going to be a movie release? What's the digital plan, Leo? You must know.
Well, lately it's been like 45 days after. So.
Okay, but they haven't announced anything.
No. The last thing they announced is Eternals, which is going to be January 12th.
Okay.
So
I'll be able to watch that finally.
Yeah. So you figure, like 2 months,
But yeah, I mean, and then I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but just briefly before we get into Hawkeye, what are our thoughts about Matrix Resurrections?
It's going to be a movie.
Thank you, Leo.
It'll be interesting to see Neo reprise the character almost 20 years later.
Yeah.
Leo, quote one of my favorite movies. Thank you, Lewis. That was short and pointless. But I mean, I saw it, and I'm not gonna lie, I liked it, but there are certain, I don't want to say.
Wait, it's out?
Well, no. I mean, I saw the trailer.
Okay.
I saw the trailer. There are certain things that I had some red flags. Like not exactly like full on alarm bells, but definitely like lukewarm tingling. For me, a few things. One, we bring back Neo, we bring back Trinity, but why is Lawrence Fishburne's character recast? So, and it seems like nobody really approached Lawrence about that. So there's that. And then the other big thing is, so he shaves for Bill and Ted 3, which I still have yet to see, and I'm going to get to it.
Jeremy says Morpheus is dead.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. Well, that myth's been busted. Back to my point. And then it's just John Wick. And I understand that he filmed John Wick 4 and Matrix back to back, which you got to give credit to that man, going from 2 extremely
physical
roles at his age. I mean, he's not, he's not in his 20s anymore, jumping off of speeding buses, with Sandy Bullock. So that's pretty impressive. But at the same time, I'm just seeing it. I'm like, so he came back as John Wick? Like, and then on top of it, there's only one Wachowski directing it. And I'm just like, did one decide that it was enough? Like, I don't know. Like I said, small things. I'm still up in the air if I'm going to see it. But I mean, it's definitely intriguing to me. Well,
it's It's HBO, so I mean, we'll be able to get to see it, with our HBO membership.
Right.
Jeremy says Morpheus died in the video games, which is continuity. It's stupid, but there it is. Yeah, I'm cautious about it as well. I mean, the last two movies absolutely sucked.
Really, I kind of liked Reloaded a little. I mean, the one that for me I walked out was Revolutions. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nope.
I just remembered something interesting. Have you guys checked out the new Dexter Bloodline yet?
Yes.
I haven't.
Oh,
How is it?
Are you up to date, Leo?
Three
episodes.
Yes, I'm up to date.
Ooh, that third episode. Woo! Yeah, Drew, get on board.
Okay, I'll add that to that long.
I know there's so many things. Like I still haven't watched so many movies and so many things yet, but yeah. That was worth checking out.
Okay, definitely will.
Hawkeye.
Before we get into that, just real quick, I did see Ghostbusters. Absolutely loved it. Not going to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But
no. But Leo, why don't we? Can you confirm what I told Rich last time when I told you both? Is it not true that you will need tissues for the third act?
Oh hell yeah, yeah! I was crying my eyes out.
There you go.
So I'm looking forward to it. I want to be emotionally moved. That sounds awesome.
I was emotionally moved in a jumpsuit. I mean, that's about as devastating as it gets for me.
Teardrops on my jumpsuit.
I mean, it was. Listen, I don't really cry very often and during movies. There's some that'll get me teary, but not full on like. But yeah, I think it's great. But I do see where some people are criticizing about, and I do see their point. I know some people are really going ham on it, and I don't really agree with that. But you know how there are some people just want to attack it like the thing just shot their childhood in front of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you seen Star Wars recently? Like,
I would have to imagine that they're setting up this as the future franchise.
It could be. And speaking of Leo, I don't know if you saw, but speaking of Star Wars, I don't know if you saw, but there's also, I think there was another, Legend of Boba Fett trailer? I seem to recall there was.
Yes, there was.
Yes, I saw that. And I was like, man, they're building up this series great.
The new trailer has me more interested in seeing it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you're our resident Star Wars guy. So, if you say, two Star Destroyers up, I'm like, okay, man, they're pretty big. So, okay, you got it.
Well, the new trailer shows that it looks like they're going to address how he got out of the Sarlacc,
which has been one of the biggest questions of Boba Fett lore for years.
Yeah,
it was addressed in the comics, but we've never seen it addressed on the big screen.
Yeah. I love the comics rendition, like the old '80s one where the Jawas found him thinking he was like a robot. Dug him out. But I know we need to get to Hawkeye, but Rich, I have something for you.
You do?
I do.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Okay. On this episode of Splash Pages, the comic book club, we're talking about the graphic novel Hawkeye, My Life as a Weapon. This is the Matt Fraction David Aja run that takes place during Hawkeye number 1 through number 5, and it also includes Avengers number 6. This run of Hawkeye was published in 2012, and to prepare us for this adventure, let's take a little step back in time. So prepare to time circuits.
Captain, time travel circuit set for 2012.
Here we go. Channeling my inner Sophia. Picture Sicily 2012. Gas cost us a whopping $3.64 a gallon. We paid a crazy low ticket price of $7.92 to go to the movies. And in movie news, Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas for $4 billion. The top grossing movies of 2012 were The Avengers, The Dark Knight Rises, The Hunger Games, Skyfall, and Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. If you stayed at home to watch the Boob Tube, you were probably watching one of these top shows, including NCIS, Sunday Night Football, Big Bang Theory, NCIS Los Angeles, and Person of Interest. If you're a gamer, 2012 brought us the release of the PlayStation Vita along with Nintendo's Wii U. We also saw Far Cry 3 and Borderlands 2 released, but the top-selling games of 2012 were Call of Duty Black Ops No. 2, Madden NFL 13, Halo 4, Assassin's Creed 3, and Just Dance No. 4. For us comic dorks, Bazooka Joe Comics was discontinued. And, if you're not an old fart and you have no idea what I'm talking about, Bazooka Joe was a comic that came in the chewing gum of Bazooka Chewing Gum. And you got a nifty little comic along with your nasty tasting gum. Also in 2012, you could see Batman Live. It was a touring stage show including theatrical circus and stage magic that focused on Batman for some reason. Magic Batman. And it looks like this happened in the UK. So along with the awesome New 52 books by DC, the top-selling books of 2012 were Walking Dead number 100, Uncanny Avengers number 1, Avengers vs. X-Men number 1, Amazing Spider-Man number 700, and All New X-Men number 1. So that concludes our travel back in time. I hope we're all prepared to cover this amazing comic. And with that, we travel back to whatever time it is now you're watching this. That was so bad.
Whoa. Bravo.
That I did that for you, Rich. I know you were asking for it. So
that was awesome, man. That was a lot of work. God damn, that was awesome, Leo.
Thanks again, past Leo.
Okay, let me share the screen here so we can talk about Hawkeye. Okay.
The weapon.
Yeah. So whose call was this?
I think this was something that Drew wanted, but I think I brought it up because the TC show was coming out.
Yeah, this kind of humor sounds like me. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm pretty sure this was me because I read this 2020. It was around when COVID happened. I went to a library and they had like 3 volumes, and a friend of mine was like, "You got to read this." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Enough time has passed that I feel like I can read this." And I did, and I did what Rich you did. I read 3 volumes of it. I thought it was absolutely perfect, and I still have to finish it, but I was like, wow. And then when I heard that they were using it as part of the basis for the Hawkeye series, I was like, this shit's gonna rock. Hell yeah, man. So I'll take the credit for that.
There you go. And they did I did notice at the end of the first episode they do have Matt Fraction on the project. So
well, there you go.
He's a supervising producer, it said.
Well, and it's funny because right now I don't know if it's exactly a controversy, but there's a severe criticism to the series because apparently one of the series' main artists, David Aja, has been calling out that they used a lot of the series that he worked on as inspiration, and they even used some images that were basically based on his, but Marvel has never credited him for it, never cut him a check. So a lot of fans have been, well, I don't know if it's a lot, but it's definitely taken a notice. Are boycotting the series because they feel Marvel is treating him unfairly, which brings up a lot of interesting questions about work for hire and whatnot, which then it's a big discussion that we do not have time for, but yeah. But back to this series. God, what a fun romp. And it's also funny because I feel like it kind of really injected some good personality into Clint Barton, who I hate to say it, like a lot of people for the series, I always kind of overlooked him. Kind of really? I kind of feel the way that people overlook Green Arrow, at least as people did in the past, just because they were like, okay, he's a dude. In Green Arrow's case, it was like, he's a rich dude who shoots arrows. Like this one, I was like, he's a former criminal turned superhero who has no powers whatsoever. Like, it's one of those, I was like, were you a sweepstake Avenger? Did you win a raffle and just happened to contribute?
Do you think that the Marvel series that they're using those to sort of like repair what people think about certain events and certain people, like Age of Ultron,
Right.
WandaVision was like, hey, everybody pretty much didn't like this movie, but you're gonna love it now because of WandaVision. Same thing with Thor to Dark Thor,
Well, I think if you're asking my opinion as someone who's read comics for a while, I think what they're doing is filling in gaps in the MCU with good storytelling. And they're also giving characters who unfortunately took a bit of a back burner to other characters their just due. For instance, like you can say, like it definitely WandaVision fleshed out Scarlet Witch and Vision far better than any Avengers did. You know, Sam Wilson and then Bucky, James Buchanan, their story got so much more elaborated on with Falcon and Winter Soldier. And you can say the same thing with Loki. Like we have so much appreciation now for this variant of Loki. So I feel like it's a clever way to continue the MCU, but in a way that, again, instead of just one almost 3-hour movie, we have 5 to 8 1-hour movies. It's the kind of the same way that Netflix did for their superheroes, their Marvel characters, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, even Defenders. We now know them so much better because of that. So this is just kind of giving people their just due. And it's also surprising that DC hasn't really done this, although they kind of were doing it first because you had the Arrowverse. So in my long analysis of that, maybe.
So Jeremy says they fixed Iron Man 3 with Shang-Chi. And is the Hawkeye show in the 616? I heard spec it's a different universe.
I would say from what we were shown in the first episode with the flashes to the Avengers movie, that it is in that same regular MCU universe and timeline.
Oh yeah, it is. It's just, again, it's funny because a lot of these little mini series kind of are are the Netflixes. Like this one, with the way Clint acts and behaves, it almost feels like the Avengers are such an afterthought. And I kind of think that you need that because then you focus more on the characters as a character versus, hi, it's Hawkeye of the Avengers. This one, it's Clint Barton, who is kind of an Avenger.
Right. Because this, in the comic, this is supposed to be his time off when he's not being an Avenger.
Exactly. But I mean, you also have to give credit to Matt Fraction. I mean, he just knows how to move the story along at such a good pace, but it's very cinematic. You can see why it's very adaptable. And then also on top of it, I feel like it totally elaborates more of Clint. I mean, just this opening shot, it's such an action shot. It's him jumping off of a building, and you're like, this dude can't fly. He doesn't have a magic hammer or a suit of armor. If he doesn't have a trick arrow, he's going to go splat. So
sometimes that's the way it goes, bro.
Oh my God, stop. So
I got you, bro.
So that's the funny thing is I don't even know how to elaborate on some of this stuff, but I feel like this first issue here set up a lot of the stories of the series very well, because sometimes some comics do the jumping around very quickly and it throws off the narrative, but I thought this was great, like just the way that it jumped and established so many different plot points within the first, let's say, like 3 comics. I was like, wow, superb pacing. So again, kudos to Matt Fraction.
Right there, poor Lucky the pizza dog gets hit by a car.
I think
kicked by one of the bros.
I got to be honest with you. If I can say one thing, I really want to see Jeremy Renner do the trick of using change to shatter things. Because
Oh.
I'm sorry, if I can learn that for myself, I mean, what a party trick. Although I have a friend who almost taught me how to use playing cards in that fashion. Like you could use them as an offensive weapon.
All right, bullseye.
A bullseye or gambit, either one works.
Well, if you can charge them too with some electricity or some sort, that would be impressive.
Rich, I'm just trying to make an impression. I'm not trying to be a hero. So
all right, Drew.
Keep going now.
You keep your mutant power secret. Do what you do.
So, did one of you? I have it up. If you don't, but did you want to do a quick synopsis of?
No, you do it.
I don't have my tablet on me, Leo. So go ahead. Why don't you just go for it?
This is just a real quick one. So, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Cars, Brawls, and videotape. Clint Barton, aka the self-made hero Hawkeye, fights for justice and good rooftop barbecues. And with ex-young Avenger Kate Bishop by his side, he's out to get some downtime for being one of Earth's mightiest heroes in this fan favorite sensation from creators Matt Fraction and David Aja.
All right, so here's the question now. She was Hawkeye at one time, but in this comic, she's supposed to be 9 years old. What was she, 5 when she was Hawkeye? What the hell?
No, that's comic book aging, Rich. It's like 10 years is like 1 month.
Got it.
No, she was a teenager when she started, when she was in the Young Avengers, and then, that slow aging.
Right.
And
I know Marvel aging thing.
Yeah, and I know in this trade paperback they have the Young Avengers issue 6, which was written by Matt Fraction, which had Clint's first meeting of Kate and the discussion of who would assume the Hawkeye mantle. But speaking of, you can't get a better, funnier yet weirder side villain than these Russian bro gangsters. Like I'm very excited to start seeing these at conventions because everything's be like, it's okay, bro. Bro. Yeah, everything is just bro. And I'm like, I can't.
They're I was gonna say they're wearing the wrong color, but it was in the show they're all red.
As I say, they're all red, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some Royal Tenenbaums level tracksuits right there.
Yeah,
absolutely. But, all right. So Leo, for once, Leo, you can just flip, and we'll let you know when to stop. I will say I did love this scene where he's going in to bargain for the building, and he's just playing it so cool, and you're like, you're gonna fuck it up, Hawkeye. Like you're gonna fuck it up. He just comes in and was like, I got a big bag of money.
I'll buy the building. You can't triple everybody's rent.
Yeah.
I don't care what your objective is.
He's shuffling the card.
And they're like, no, bro. No, bro. That's not our objective, bro.
Just real quick. I know we don't want to spoil the show for those people that didn't see the show yet. But we will point out, maybe like 1 or 2 similarities like the dog does get a slice of pizza in the show.
Yes.
Absolutely. But at this point, he is not named, I don't believe.
And I got to say, I love how Hawkeye later on was like, yeah, it wasn't even good pizza. I was just like, oh, my God. Clint would be eating some shitty dollar store pizza. So, yeah, look at this. He's playing it so cool.
And he goes and he gets captured on purpose by the bros.
Mm-hmm.
So he can meet the boss.
The boss.
Yeah, even the dog getting kicked.
Yeah, I'm so sad. And Hawkeye goes and brings the poor injured dog to the vet, and he's like, "You fix this dog. Do it." And on the dog tag, the dog's name is Arrow.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, that's not going to do it all. I'm just going to name you Lucky.
Yeah, exactly. But
little too on the dog nose there.
Yeah. But he's kind of have a rough exterior in this, or this personification of him, and the dog softens that. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And then we finally have, in this issue, we finally have him hanging with Kate. I mean, and I got to say again, the chemistry between the two of them is just fantastic. You know, you've got this younger, cocky, former rich girl turned superhero, and you have this hero who, an orphan, raised by carnies to be a criminal, then became an Avenger, but has never really felt like he belonged. So it's funny because when I'm watching this scene, I don't know why, but I don't know if you guys remember reading the Hush comic, Batman. I just, that scene in the opera with Bruce and Selina, I had like that kind of, you know, where they're just enjoying the opera and then it gets interrupted by Harley. Like this gave me that kind of vibe.
Oh, I haven't read that since it came out. I'm gonna have to reread that.
Yeah, but well, yes, you haven't lived, Rich, so you've seen Harley butcher Pagliacci.
Well, that I look forward to seeing.
Oh yeah, nothing like seeing the word Rice Krispies used in an opera. But
just real quick, so just thinking as a writer for Disney, and like as they're going through the storyline, seeing this scene right here with the circus and everything going on, do you think this could have been used with inspiration for Rogers the musical?
100%.
Yeah,
that would have been a perfect way to just kind of slip that in there, because it's all part of the show. Not.
Now, in this page you have open right here, Leo, in the middle of the first page, we've got all the baddies that are notorious in Marvel for being gangsters. We've got the Owl, and then I'm not sure who that female is. And we've got Hammerhead, Tombstone, Madam Mask, and the Kingpin.
Right, and at this point in time, the Kingpin is running the Hand. So so we gotta remember that not only is he Wilson Fisk, international crime lord, but he's now the head honcho for the Hand, which is, as we know, is a huge enemy of their mutual enemy, Daredevil.
Right, so. And he's also more sumo-like. And there's actually a few comics where he's actually in that little diaper, and it's not pretty.
Dear God. Continuing.
Can't unsee that. Can't unsee that at all.
I will say the thing that I love, because I haven't reread this in a while, is seeing the connection, like the personal stake that Clint has in this. It's not just the circus, memories of the circus, but he's meeting someone that he worked with, someone who was raised just like him, but remained a criminal while he got a chance out. And of course, in true fashion, Clint and Kate decide to wreck this. No, it's just, again, like I said, it was just wonderful how you got the bailout. And personally, like, what a great scene. Although, do you guys, like, she's not killing them, is she? Is she killing these people? I was kind of wondering that. Like,
I thought he said that she didn't.
Right, she didn't, right? They're all like stunned or injured, right? It's not.
Yeah, like severely injured.
Okay, cool. Because I kind of wondered about that.
Yeah. Rich.
Yes.
Not spoiling anything, but the guy on the left.
Yes.
Do you think we've seen him already?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Well, he's also the history of Clint Barton. Which you may have to look into, Leo, so we don't actually say what you want to say.
Please don't.
No, I won't. No, I was just it just hit me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they brought it up where she actually killed somebody, right? And that was that in the Avengers number, the Young Avengers number 6 at the end, or where they made a big deal about her like killing somebody?
I have no idea, but I just do enjoy how that literally in the end Hawkeye basically ripped off all these major crime people. So I was like, yep, Clint, you're an archer. Why don't you make a bigger target for yourself? But I know, I feel like we should keep track of how many arrow puns we can make. This one I thoroughly enjoyed. I think the whole thing is great, but this one was one of my favorites because it just plays on such a trope. Because the entire thing is just talking about Clint and bad decisions, and the entire time he's being chased by, again, red suited bros in little like it just, this to me felt very much like those old chase movies in the 70s, which I think is what it's kind of an homage to. I mean, the henchmen and little cars, rocking machine guns, matching cars. I was like, yeah, this has got to be some sort of homage.
The dangerous girl shows up in the hot car and she's like, oh, 2 seconds later, you're in bed with her and you got to help her.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry, that when he's jumping that is so iconic.
Oh, and they've got the little old school Hawkeye thing to block his his arrow.
Yeah, and then what I just love is that you got that, and then you just have that word caption. Nope, everything sucks. Like, I was like, boy, if that doesn't describe some people when they try to wake up in the morning, I don't know what will. That's what happens when you wake up too late and you realize you're gonna be late to work.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that scene when you were talking about Leo and not having any snakes in this episode, but I was like, but Hawkeye's trouser snake definitely makes
Shut up. But also, I'm sorry. I also, like, again, this thing had so many great moments, but you gotta love Kate, just like he's just pulling on his clothes and then she's like, really? With the shirt and the abs and everything. I was like, oh my God. All of these. And then we saw so many trick arrows, man. There's so many trick arrows in this one issue. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, did he ever get his tape to mark them?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he used all of them.
I just love it that they're driving all in the same car.
Right?
That's just hilarious.
Yeah. Just
now, is the tracksuit mafia, are they prevalent in the Marvel?
No, this is specifically a Hawkeye creation, man. This is all Fraction and Aja.
But reading further into the story, further than we're going to discuss tonight, they do seem to have a seat at the table with like Wilson Fisk and all those other guys that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so they could just, but Marvel does this sometimes. They'll create characters and then no one will use them, and then until someone realizes, oh, hey, you remember that? Hey, wouldn't that be cool if I brought that back?
Yeah, like we haven't seen like the Magia and Silvermane in like a decade or two.
Yeah, but
I'm aware of.
They do pop up every once in a while, Magia and whatnot. But Boomerang Arrow, come back. Like, it's just so classic. And then, God, that car. That car's done. Get that Toad, Clint. And then again, it's such a cliche ending, mystery girl kisses the lone hero and his kind of not really sidekick. I'm just like, I can't. But again, I think you got to really admire that everything is paced so well that, again, what would have taken some people 2 issues, matter of fact, just as 1. And it's great.
Yeah. Oh, it was Hawkeye that killed somebody. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Right. This story, again, a nice 2-parter. So,
we get a little Cap.
Yep.
Little Cap 1 panel.
You know what's nice is that like this one especially had a kind of Silver Age feel to it. To me, you got the helicarriers, you got shield agents and their uniforms, you got Cap. This to me felt a little bit more, and especially because you got like characters like Madame Mask and whatnot. It had that Silver Age-y adventure feel to me,
like a Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. type.
Kind of, but it was, again, like, it still fit. You have sometimes when they do different artists and just the vibe is just so fundamentally different, you're like, oh, this is kind of throwing me off. Like, this fit in with like the Aja mood. So, but keep going.
So just real quick with this, we get Cap in this. Do you think with the show, I know we're still early, and there are some people calling for Wilson Fisk to come into it. But you think we would see, maybe Cap, the new Cap, or Luke Cage?
Honestly, it's really hard to say, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past Marvel to throw cameos like that. I don't know. It's really hard to say, but yeah, I feel like I would love to see Matt Murdock show up. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
The amount of legal trouble Clint gets into, holy shit, he's going to need a good lawyer.
Right. And that ties into what we were discussing before the show is the rumors of possible D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, which is a possible rumor or fake out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It might be cool.
It would be beneficial for them to have Daredevil in this. Matt Murdock, going into Spider-Man coming out, in a couple weeks.
We'll see. I mean, again, anything's possible, but I mean, there's definitely a strong chance, especially since we've established that Madripoor is a thing in the MCU. Yeah. So, the fact that Clint's here.
But will we see Mephisto?
Don't even.
Leo?
Mephisto's everywhere.
Reddit.
Both of you. But oh my god! And it's just even this scene here, like, how do 6 different people try to steal your wallet and they still get away with it? I'm like, dude. And then Clint is a cabbie. I was like, I can't. It's just too funny. But keep going.
And Madam Mask, who predominantly I mostly knew as an Iron Man bad villain.
Yeah, she was. And then she evolved a little bit more. She was involved with the Hood for a while. And then, she kind of she found her own footing. I mean, this was the first time I remember seeing her actually in a comic that wasn't as part of an ensemble. So, but the twist for me that it was Kate all along was just wonderful. I was like, I had no freaking idea. And then you just see her. I was like, wow, you got some ballsy moves, little kid.
Totally. And to, switch tables, where she saves Clint.
Man sure likes falling out of things, I'll tell you that. Bad decisions.
Yeah, he keeps getting knocked out for sure, too.
I mean, it just, out of all the people, it's just in this series, it's never Clint Barton's day.
Bat to the head, bullet to the shoulder.
Thrown out of, falling out of a building, being chased by ninjas.
But it definitely shows his as opposed to other superheroes, his frailty, and definitely adds more humanity to him.
I did like this a little. What's coming up next kind of, to me, felt a little Die Hard nod. I mean, he lost a shoe.
I was thinking that myself. Yeah.
Yeah. He breaks through the glass. He's like, oh, glass, barefoot. Ow, ow, ow. I was like, oh my God. But I got to say, I'm sorry. This was one of the most genuine threats I've ever seen a villain want to do to a hero. Like, Madame Mask is so pissed at what Kate did, she would literally smoke an entire pack of cigarettes and keep putting them out on Kate's face. I was like, wow. Like, it's subtle, but it's like, wow.
Super dark.
So, yeah, exactly. Like, you don't expect it. And I think it's one of those moments where, because all you see are her eyes, it makes it that much more terrifying. Because you can tell Madame Mask, I remember that she holds it. He holds grudges. Yeah, so you go, ow, 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 ow. I just feel like it's more and more Kate is very constantly have to take care of Clint because he is just falling apart. You'd think.
Is that one of the guards from MODOK? AIM?
Yeah, that's from him.
Okay. I'm starting to piece things together.
I took you long enough. But yeah, keep going.
I love how the book, it's. I'm sorry, I hit my microphone there. It definitely moves fast, and it's not overcomplicated with drawn out, drama.
No, the stories are very beginning, middle, end. It's not, oh, you'll have to wait till the next issue to find out. It's like, nope, this is their story, And again, this whole thing, you think you really believe Clint killed somebody, and then you see it was all a decoy, and it's just great because, again, he didn't lie to Kate. He was like, yeah, I've never killed anyone, and I'm just like. And I'm like, I'm sure there's some Hawkeye comics that say otherwise, but sure.
But
Then,
it's it was all to draw out the
the mole,
the leak, the mole.
If I lose you guys, my laptop is running out of power.
Oh well, we will make this fast then.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I got a little confused when it switched to Young Avengers. I'm like, what's happening?
Well, yeah, because this was also written by Max Fraction. I can answer this. So this story was written by Max Fraction, drawn by Alan Davis. Great, phenomenal artist. Did Excalibur. I did a lot of X-Men and stuff back in the day. This is basically showing back in the day when Kate met Clint first. And this is back when he was rocking the Ronin identity, and that was during New Avengers, because he had been dead, and then he came back after the event at House of M, kind of trying to figure his shit out. Came back to New Avengers. They gave him the Ronin costume that Echo had been rocking for a while, and then he did that for a while, and then he met Kate, and then it was really more of a question of the bow that he had was Hawkeye's bow that was given to her by Captain America when the Young Avengers first started. So Clint was like, I want my bow back. I'll shoot you for it. So they have an archery contest. And this is also full of Young Avengers drama because you got people hitting on people. You've got, everybody apparently wants to date Kate. And I'm just like, oh gosh, young love. Because you had the Patriot, and then I think that Speed, one of Wanda Maximoff's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, just flip forward, Leo. Let's get to the archery contest. Skip the teen drama.
There you go.
All right, there you go. See, you got that. And then she challenges Hawkeye. And I just enjoy that she challenges him. He's got his bow, and he's just got some dime store regular archery bow. And he totally gets it, man. He totally beats her. So, flip, Leo. You gotta keep going.
That's it.
Oh, what?
That's the end. Yeah.
Really? No.
Yeah.
It's because just we've read so much further.
Yes.
I guess so, because that's so weird.
Yeah, this is the first book.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the issue itself. There's so much more because Kate decided that she wasn't going to give him the bow. He goes back to steal it. He overhears some of the she goes back to steal it. She overhears some of the conversation. Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
we covered
it.
You told me to go faster. You don't.
I'm sorry. I jumped ahead, man. I'm sorry. It's my bad. But yeah, and eventually Hawkeye gave her his blessing to keep doing her thing, and encouraged her to take chances and be yourself, go out with Patriot, bam, done, end of story. But again, it was great because you see the beginnings of that relationship that this series really continued, which is now the basis for their characters. And from what I've seen, fans really love it. I know a bunch of people who have really taken a love to Kate Bishop. So it's just really nice to see,
Right.
Yeah.
But, now I've watched it the episodes twice now.
Okay.
And the first time I watched it, I still hadn't read the comic.
Mm-hmm.
So having read the comic and then rewatched it a second time changes the whole perception and makes it way better.
Okay, good to know. So the fact that I haven't watched it yet, but I have read the comic, I'm going to appreciate it a lot more because not only will I see the references, but I can appreciate them.
Absolutely.
Cool.
What do you think, Leo?
I read this after watching the first 2 episodes.
And now, can you correlate things or appreciate them more because you've read the comic?
Yeah, it's definitely the dynamic between the two. It just adds just that additional layer while reading it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Tracksuit Mafia. You know, it's just better visualization of. I know I said that wrong.
Visualization.
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
Come on, bro. Say it.
Come on, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm just
and definitely, you know, with reading the book, definitely seeing, you know, where they took inspiration and flipped things around, and it's definitely allowed much more of an appreciation for the book.
Well, that's great. I can't wait to watch the 2 once I actually have a minute to breathe.
Yeah.
So
tomorrow will be the 3rd.
I know. So thank God. But it's how many episodes is it? Like 8, 10?
Somewhere between 5 and 8.
Oh, okay, it's not bad. Within that is probably your answer. Thanks, Rich. That's a lot of help. Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Does anyone know what's the next thing after this? I really don't know.
Well, we have Boba on the 29th. It starts December 29th.
Okay.
But Marvel-wise, I'm not sure.
Isn't it Miss Marvel? Yeah. Okay. So we're getting.
Okay.
So we have Hawkeye right now.
Mm-hmm.
And next should be, they're saying Miss Marvel, and then Moon Knight, and then She-Hulk.
I hope Miss Marvel's good. I mean, I like the character, but there's like I can see so many ways that it could go wrong. And wrong doesn't seem like the right way. I feel like it's just, you know what I mean? Like I feel like certain things could be done well, but certain things might not. Like it's just.
Drew, are you hoping that it's based on the Byrne run, or are you hoping it's not based on the Byrne run?
I mean,
like, do you want those comedic elements, or do you in the fourth wall, or are you not looking?
We're talking about She-Hulk. No, She-Hulk. I think it's 100%. I'm talking about Miss Marvel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Miss Marvel. Yeah, Miss Marvel. I was reading the series for a while. I thoroughly enjoyed Kamala. Sometimes she was a little too fangirly, which again, as a fan, I appreciated, but sometimes I was like, this could be a little annoying. But I liked her. It was nice seeing especially when she had to interact with a lot of her heroes. I think it was interesting because eventually she found her own footing. I think that's going to be, personally as a fan, I'm skeptical about that, but I'm still going to give it a shot. What were the other ones? Oh, Moon Knight. Moon Knight looks great. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. I think Oscar Isaac is going to do a fantastic job with that. And it's also funny because Moon Knight is an old character, but not a lot of people still know about him. So hopefully that'll bring him more to the light.
Drew, do we know, is this the Mark Spector version?
I think they said it is, but it's really hard to say if it's going to be him or any of the other personalities. I feel like it's going to be an amalgamation of all of them. Like I feel like we're going to see, Mark Spector, David Grant, all of them. That should be cool. I'm very excited about She-Hulk. I really hope they take cues from the Byrne run with breaking the fourth wall and whatnot. It was really nice seeing Bruce Banner in the trailer and Mark Ruffalo's Bruce, especially literally dressed as Bill Bixby's version, which I was like, that nice nod. What was the last one, Leo? Wasn't there one more?
So they're saying Miss Marvel is summer. Maybe next might be She-Hulk, but for 2022, they're saying we're getting Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, What If Season 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and Secret Invasion.
Oh, Secret Invasion.
So Secret Invasion is going to be the series, not a movie.
Correct.
Oh, that's going to be good.
We're going to flesh out the Skrulls.
Yeah. And also, Kevin Fahey is saying he wants an X-Men series, and the Disney execs are trying to convince him that it should be a movie.
Listen, I'm really excited that we're getting more X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pumped about, because I'm sorry, anytime I've ever seen a group of X-Men, I'm always like, cue the theme song. And I just, it's so hard not to want to get a synthesizer and just and then you just get really dramatic. But
You did that quite well.
I'm a big fan of theme songs. You don't want me to hear my rendition of the '90s Spider-Man. It gets the Aerosmith one from the '90s.
I'm always partial to the '80s Spider-Man and Friends.
Amazing, and his amazing friends.
Yes, yep.
Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Firestar, Iceman,
and Spidey. Oh God, Stan.
And Tiger.
Oh yeah, and Tiger. Okay, I will say this just before we go. It was really funny because I was over at my parents for Thanksgiving, and we had that lull, as I talked about, between dinner and that. And my mom has been cleaning out the attic, so she's been bringing down boxes to sort. And I found a lot of my old things, and just one bin. It's just full of random knickknack toys. And then I found my complete collection of small soldiers.
Oh, nice.
If y'all remember that 1997 something movie. And it
reminds me of something. I'm going to let you keep talking, Drew. I'll be right back.
Cool. No worries. But Leo, so I had those toys, and then I was like, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, God, this is such a, I'm looking at that there's such a 90s thing. And I remember this because I found another box that had all my old stuff, including my Street Sharks.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like,
dun, dun, dun.
And I'm just thinking wow, if I put my small soldiers with my Street Sharks, whenever it's time for me to be a dad, hey, Dad, your toys were really weird. I'm like, yes, they were, son. Yes, they were. We had a lot more creativity.
Memory boxes, Mr. Drew. I also got a memory box.
Go for it.
And this.
Wow, look at that.
1979.
Do not drop that.
No, how about that for a piece?
That's awesome. And look, it's got his name on it. Just in case he lost it.
I was Richie in 79. That's my share.
I'm done. But it's just so funny when you find those old toys, and then my mom will just list. She's like, "Oh, they're all up there. Your Ghostbusters, Land of the Lost, Jurassic Park."
Nice.
And I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like, yep. If I took all of them and put them all on display and everything, I would look like the biggest kid about to have a nervous breakdown.
That sounds like a fun project.
Yeah, I know that's what I said. But Leo, there we go. I'm about to say he's gonna get that.
Yeah. So I have an addiction. I've been pre-ordering the Transformers.
Do you think we're not aware of this?
It's
this is like Jurassic Park. He loves Transformers. He loves Transformers. See, nobody cares.
Yeah. So I had another large box show up the other day.
Nice. Now, Leo, are you going to get that $800 Lego at?
Oh, hell no. Yeah.
No, that's too much.
No. Oh, you know what, Leo? What we should do, which I think would really be great, and Rich, we can add this to the list. We should read the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware there was such a thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's fantastic, and especially if you know Ghostbusters, it's the team that's been working on IDW all this time. Eric Burnham and Dan Schoen, and they really tie both franchises because it was the 30th anniversary for both of them. So they really tied both the franchises together in a way that it's in like a new kind of timeline, but Leo, the way that they describe what really destroyed Cybertron, pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie, I'm writing about it for Screen Rant right now. I'm very pumped, but we should totally, because crossovers are always good. I mean, it's funny because I remember one point. Don't worry, everybody. We're almost done. But there was a point where they just crossovering Transformers with everything. And Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. They did Terminator. Weird. And I was just like, good.
Oh,
good.
The last one is it's a toy, so I'm assuming they did a comic of it. Jurassic Park.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, it's funny because when they mentioned Jurassic Park, I had that Ian Malcolm line. I was like, you guys were so concerned about if they could. They didn't ask if they should. And I'm just like, what everybody feels. No, but crossovers are always good. I mean, I also think another great one would be is if we reviewed RoboCop versus Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was written by Frank Miller, y'all. So, back when Frank Miller was a writer, instead of kind of his own parody.
And Batman vs. Predator.
Yo, listen, I will hands down advocate. When I read that first series, that was
that Dark Horse or IDW?
No, that was Dark Horse. And I remember that because that's Dave Gibbons was the writer for that, and it was the Kuberts were the artists, and that series was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God, I got chills. I mean, the other two were still good, but the first series,
hands down,
hands down, spectacular.
Yeah, that'd be a great one to cover.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I can't wait. Yeah, it was a quick cross words today.
So boys, crowbars, and then we have to end on a holiday note, so we'll get that. I will go first. I'm giving this four. I would say actually 4.25. This was a great read. I recommend this for anybody. It's nice and easy, and the best part is you do not have to know nothing about Hawkeye, and you'll still love this book. I'm actually going to totally match you, Drew, for once. How about that? 4.25.
I want to point out, it's okay. I can't tell you every week someone at my job that I talk to on the phone will call me Bruce. I don't know how any more clearly I can say my name. Yes, hello, this is Drew speaking. Oh, hi there, Bruce. I'm like,
Druce.
So do you say they call you Bruce?
Sometimes I'll just go with it. One time I had this very upset customer, and I played it off like, yes, I spoke to my associate Bruce, and my name is Drew. You spoke to my associate Bruce. Yeah, people tell me that we sound alike. I didn't have the heart to tell it's the same person. I just wrote with it, and then so I spoke to your associate Bruce in an email, and I'm like, my boss was like, who's Bruce? And I'm like, it's me. They always do this. I say my name clearly, and I was like, oh, okay. And my head was the Ferris Bueller of, they bought it. So I'm sorry, Leo, you were going crowbars.
I'm gonna give it a little higher, 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't put it down. I blew through it all in one night. I loved it.
Nice.
Are you gonna read the rest like Rich did?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I'll add them to my queue. I'm also reading Batgirl Year 1 right now.
Let me know how that is.
Yeah, I'm halfway through it. It's pretty good.
Also, to all of our friends who are celebrating, okay, Rich, correct me if I'm wrong with it. Is it Lashana Tova?
That is totally correct. That is a proper pronunciation, Drew. Great job.
I've had so many latkes. I don't know how my arteries aren't clogged. But for any of our viewers who are celebrating Hanukkah, as I said, a most wonderful. Is it Festival of Lights?
That is 100% correct.
Yes, I'm 2 for 2. Nice. I'm getting that matzah bingo. But it's funny because in my family, whenever it comes time, we always talk about watching. The only thing in my family that we will religiously watch around it comes to Hanukkah, it's the Rugrats Hanukkah special. And Rich, have you ever seen it?
I have not, but I've heard some things.
If you have Hulu, if you go on Hulu, I think all of Rugrats is on there. I think it's on there. It's only 20 something minutes. I guarantee you will laugh pretty hard at a few moments. It's really adorable.
I'm looking forward to it.
But it you know how Rugrats do. It's just, but they have some good zingers in there. And it's funny because I remember when we were talking about Thanksgiving, I went over like, oh hey, watch this for during Thanksgiving. But when it came to Hanukkah, I was like Rugrats and I don't know, 8 Crazy Nights. Right.
Pretty much.
Right? I think so. I don't really remember much of a market, but maybe the Hebrew Hammer. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's a great cult classic.
Hey, got the Hebrew Hammer. But oh god, I don't know. I'm sorry. I started going on a Hanukkah rant, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna sit down.
Are you getting verklempt?
Listen, okay, I'm telling you, Murray, I was so verklempt. Okay, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack before Yitz. Okay, it was horrible. That's not even. And it's funny. I had a friend of mine who he was just like, "You do that a little too well." I was like, "I've worked for one of your people, an older gentleman." And let me tell you, no offense, some of those stereotypes are true. But all jokes aside, Rich, is it the fourth night?
Third night. Sunday night was the first night.
Okay, well,
Sunday, Monday,
happy
Tuesday.
third night of Hanukkah. Happy
Thank
third
you.
night to all of our viewers out there. We hope your dreidels always spin. The chocolate coins are delicious. And whatever you eat, whether it's matzah, gefilte fish, and everything, be merry.
It's Drew. It's gefilte fish. Gefilte fish.
Oh, well,
it's disgusting, but it's pronounced gefilte fish.
Okay, listen, go fuck yourself. Okay, that's all I got to say to that.
All right. Happy Christmonica.
All right.
Catch you guys later.
Bye. Catch you guys later, everyone.